get to this next one, which we're going to talk about two trailers in this one, and that is The Flash. Now, you guys have already know I've been super excited for this movie for... This has been my most anticipated movie for this year, and even last year, because it was supposed to come out last year, but because of the body whole thing with Ezra Miller and crap like that, they pushed it to this year. But they were like, this movie has to come out because it's just that good, and this is going to reset into the James Gunn universe. So this is my most anticipated thing for the year. So, Dad, thoughts on the second and third trailer?
Yeah, no, it's looking good. I mean, as I've always said, I'm not a DC fan. They never hit the mark. Other than the only ones that ever did were the Batman ones, but the early ones with Michael Keaton in them, I reckon. But
Yeah.
other than that, they don't really. I don't have a lot of time for DC, but this one looks to be good. So did James Gunn direct this one?
No. Andy Muschietti did,
yeah, that's right. You said that before.
Yeah, he did things like the It movies.
Yep.
And he's done some other stuff, but the most recognisable one to say he did was It.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that they did show, I think that the previous trailers were more Keaton focused.
Yep.
Because of the whole, because I don't think that they wanted to lean too much on the Flash because of the whole thing with Ezra.
Yep.
So that's a complicated story that I don't necessarily want to get into because it's long and it will literally take about more than I'm expecting this episode to go on.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of all the Ezra trauma, they shift kind of the first two trailers more Keaton focus, and then they've kind of made the third trailer more Affleck and Flash focus.
Yeah.
Which I think that's one of those things where it's like, I mean, I'm excited for anything with Batman in it, so the fact that this has two Batmans makes me very excited, but also I think that the Flash story is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
With the whole thing of his mum going to jail and his dad not, I guess, killing his mum, but people blame him for it, so he ends up going to jail anyway.
Yeah, right.
Which, this might be the moment to tease, since we're talking about the Flash. We are going to try, and I will say try, very lightly, because Dad's going to find some way to get out of it. We're going to try and review about, I want to say, 4 or 5 of the DC movies. We're going to do the original two Keaton Batman, so Batman Returns, and we're going to do Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and either one cut or both cuts of Justice League lean into it, because I think that...
I can't wait.
Because definitely... well, you started watching Man of Steel, but then I was like, no, screw this.
Yeah, you went, I'm not watching this.
And then I watched it at the Gold Coast without him. I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually quite good. But no, so I think that you'll... I don't think that they'll be as bad as you think that they are.
I don't think they're bad, but I just really don't want to watch them.
So they're bad is what you're saying. But yeah, no, I think that I only say that because it ties, and we even saw by those trailers, and even the first trailer that we talked about on here, on our first episode, those movies tie directly into this movie.
Yeah.
Like Man of Steel with the whole thing with Zod and the bloody world engine, with destroying buildings, and obviously you need to know more about Ben Affleck's Batman. Obviously we know him from Suicide Squad, but you don't really get a lot about him in that because they're flashback, villain bits.
Yeah.
So you'll get his story in Batman vs. Superman, and then you'll get the Flash's story and more Batman and Flash's relationship in either Zack Snyder's Justice League or just the theatrical Justice League.
Yeah.
And those will tie directly into it, but we're only doing Keaton's because Keaton's does title it that in an unexpected way. So, because I don't think that we would have to do Batman Forever and Batman Ron, because I think that they're retconning those two.
Yeah, right, okay.
So, which is a little hard to hear, but I mean, those two movies are mainly hated, so I can't get the point of them kind of doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like I'm excited for the Flash, and I'm excited to see Supergirl. The fact that we get our movie Supergirl, I'm kind of upset that's not Melissa Benoist, but I think Sasha Calle, I think is the actress name doing Supergirl. I think that she's, I mean, from what we've seen at the trailers, she looks great. She has that. I can definitely see her as a Supergirl now. I think that that's going to be really special to have a new movie Supergirl from, I guess, Keaton. I think it is from the Keaton universe. I think. I'm not too sure.
What this Supergirl is?
Huh?
Is she? Is she from the Keating universe?
So...
Oh, hey, it's Batman. It is at my house.
Yeah, what are you doing here? Yeah, let's try and get a Will Arnett cameo in Lego. Let's get that to work. But no, so I think basically what we see in the trailer is that I just want to try and explain this before we go into the next trailer. So, especially in the third trailer, they obviously Flash wants to reverse time to save his parents, so he goes back in time and then, except for taking the place of that Barry Allen that happens in that time period, which normally happens in the comics and in the anime movie, he just takes the place of that Barry Allen, but now it's more he coexists with that Barry Allen. So because of that, that Flash is an alternate version of him, but also the past version of him. So I think that is interesting, and then it's either the Keaton Batman exists in that universe, or it exists in a completely different universe, and I
don't actually understand how these universes work, to be quite honest.
They say in the trailer when worlds collide, Dad.
Yeah, they do, but it'll be good to see the movie because,
yeah,
to be honest, you don't know how they collide or what. You just know that this kid wants to go back in time to save his parents.
Exactly, and the good thing about these trailers is that, like, normally the trailers, like, we've had basically 4 trailers. We had the teaser, then we had the 3 main trailers.
Yeah.
The good thing about these trailers is that they didn't give anything away. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Which normally they give us a trailer, then they give us a story trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they will give us something that takes something away from the movie that spoils it for you.
Yeah, yeah.
But this Flash movie has done a very consistent job of going like, this movie is going to affect the future of DC in general and not just the movie universe. So, we're going to edit this in a way that you don't know what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's a very smart move for this movie because obviously we know certain elements of the movie, but we don't know like the reason why Flash wants to go back, except for he wants to save his mum.
Yeah, yeah. Want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
Or even,
what do we do now, Batman?
We try not to die. Those 2 lines we're going to be quoting throughout this episode. I bet that's going to happen so many times.
Yep.